In this video, I am going to take a data set and apply 6 different classification techniques on that and see how the result is different for all these 6 techniques. Let's try to understand the behavior of machine learning in different scenarios.
So what we are going to do, guys, is we are going to do very simple stuff, but conceptual stuff. Okay. So all the codes I have kept very simple and all the data I have kept very simple. And we will try to understand the behavior of various algorithms under different circumstances. Okay. First of all, from here to here, I'm just walking you through the code. First of all, from line number 4 till line number 13. Just the package import is happening. As you can see, pandas, matplotlib, sklearn, etc. So I'm using logistic regression, decision trees, k nearest neighbor, linear discriminant analysis, Gaussian, naive Bayes, and SVC. Okay. So these are the algorithms I'll be using and I'll be playing around with these. Okay. And let me try to show you what data I'll use. So as I have told you, I have kept a very simple data. Most of you must be aware of this data. This is known as PIMA Indian diabetes data. Okay. So here you can see this is basically a 8-9 columns data. Last column tells that if somebody has diabetes or does not have diabetes. Okay. And all these columns that you see in front of this, the beginning columns, right? These are basically characteristics of a person. For example, pregnancy is some other health indicators. Okay. But the last column is class. Class means whether somebody has diabetes or does not have a diabetes, the last column. Okay. And all these columns that I'm highlighting from here to here are features, independent columns. Okay. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and try to see how this particular data is being treated by different ML algorithms. First of all, I'm importing the data here. Okay, I'm importing the data, assigning the variable names. And then this is my scenario 1. In my scenario 1, what I'm trying to do is, first of all, let me try to run this with scenario 1. So I have multiple scenarios. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let me run this without any scenario. Okay, let me run this plain model just for seeing the performance. Okay, so I'm just running this. When I run this, right, I have some piece of code which will run all these things together and tell me the performance of the model in various circumstances. So for example, here if you can see, I'm declaring different variables, and here I'm just running a k-fold cross validation and I'm printing the message of what is the model result in all these different scenarios. Okay. For example, logistic regression is 0.77 accuracy, LDA is 0.776, KNN is 726, CART, which is decision tree, is 687, naive Bayes is 75.5, SVM is 76. Okay, so like this, I have the different accuracy for all the different algorithms. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I am going to go into different scenarios. So as I told you in the beginning, I had all these columns, right? So what I am going to do first now is I'm going to take some information out from the data. Okay, so I'm saying information loss. So let me comment this part. Let me comment this part and let me uncomment this part. So what I'm trying to do now is I'm trying to run model with only one column, that is age column. Okay, so if you see here, I'm reading PIMA Indian diabetes only age. So if I go to only age, right, then you will see that I have removed all other columns. Only age is there and class is there. Okay, so only age is there and class is there. I have taken this and I'm trying to run, and let's see what the model performance is. Okay, so I will say Control S and I will say run. At the moment I say run, you will see that all the models performance will start coming down. So if you remember previously, it was in the range of 77, 76, 75. Now all the models performances have started coming down, 64, 64, 65, 64, 64, 66. Okay, what is the reason for this? I just want you to understand the reasons for all the scenarios. Okay, the reason for this is because every time you take some information out from a model, from the learning, your model performance will come down normally. Okay, so that is what scenario 1 is trying to tell you. Fine, I will comment this and I will go to my scenario 2. Now before going to scenario 2, let me show you how the original model was performing. Okay, so original model was performing everything in the range of 76, 75. But if you see, there is one model which is performing lowest than the rest. Okay, For example, if you see cart, right? Cart is nothing but decision trees. Decision tree is 70% only. So in scenario 2, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to pull the cart up. Okay. So now from your knowledge of decision trees, how do you think we can pull the performance of this model up? How do you think we can do that? So how I am doing that is I suspect, since this is a small data, so there might be a overfitting problem. This is a small data, only 768 rows and limited columns, right? There may be an overfitting problem. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set something in decision tree which will help me in controlling overfitting. So let me go here and try to give minimum sample split 2 and max depth 2. Okay, and let me try to run the model. I'm hoping that decision tree will improve a little bit after this, at least little bit. Let's see. Yes, as you can see here, cart has improved by 5%. So 5% is a huge number on this small data. So remember guys, this has improved by 5% and it's good. It's good performance. Okay. So that is good. Now, if you see here, right, this is my scenario 2. Let me go ahead and try to show you what is my scenario 3. So why this has happened? Because I have controlled the overfitting in scenario 2. Okay. In scenario 3, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to pull LDA down because LDA is outperforming everything else. Okay. LDA is 76.60, which is outperforming everything else. So I will pull LDA down. Now, from your understanding of LDA, how LDA works basically. So LDA is a discrimination model, which means it tries to discriminate one class from other, right? So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to confuse the model here. So if you see here scenario 3 carefully, guys, you will see that I'm trying to confuse the model. Same data I'm taking, but here I'm adding an additional line. I'm saying if the age is less than 25, then make class as 1. Okay. What I'm saying, if the age is less than 25, then make the class as 1. How that will help me? That will help me because people with 25 years less age, less likely to have diabetes. Okay. So if I make all the entries having diabetes, then obviously I'm going away from the normal pattern and LDA will get confused with this new introduction of bias. Okay. So I'm introducing bias in the data. Let me run this and I expect LDA performance to come down with this bias. Okay. So let's see what happens. It is running now. So as you can see, all the models performance have come down because of this bias, including LDA. LDA has also come drastically from 77 to 65. Okay. Why I'm showing you all these guys? Because you have to understand how your data and model parameters marry together. Okay. LDA is try to learn the different pattern in a different way. Logistic regression learns in a different way. KNN learns in a different way. Decision tree learns in a different way. So if you introduce a bias, right, KNN is reduced drastically. If you control overfitting, decision trees improve drastically. Okay. If you take some information out from the model, all models performance will come down. Let's go and see what my scenario 4 is. In my scenario 4, I'm saying play with SVC kernel. So if you remember, in my model, I have a SVC kernel as well. I mean SVC model as well. So the way sigmoid works is it tries to create a separation between linearly separable boundaries. Okay. Linearly separable boundaries. So if you see here, the performance has reduced drastically. If you use sigmoid, the performance has reduced drastically. Okay. And if you use RBF, the performance is better. Okay. So what is the meaning of this? The meaning of this is in this scenario, RBF kernel is doing a better job. Okay. So you can just go and read about difference between RBF and sigmoid kernel. But to keep it very simple, RBF is here doing the separation of the classes, how the data is distributed. Okay. So if you play around with kernels, you can understand the difference behind this. And one more thing I want to cover here, guys, in KNN model, how we can play around uh, with the accuracy, right? So without any parameter, right, as you saw now, without any parameter, KNN is also near to 76, 75 accuracy. Okay. So if I run this again, you will see that KNN is 72 accuracy. Now let me go here and try to introduce nearest neighbor. So if you remember, KNN default nearest neighbor is 5. Okay, so but here I am putting 3. So let's see this 72% comes down or goes up. Okay, so in this case KNN, it has come down. Okay, so which means number of neighbors 5 is better than number of neighbors 3 in this scenario in KNN. Okay, so with this exercise and simple data, I just tried to show you how same model behaves differently under different circumstances. What I want you to do is, I want you to go to sklearn page of these models and play around with various parameters. This will help in strengthening your concepts, and that is the purpose. Okay, I'll see you all in the next video. Wherever you are, stay safe and take care.